Okay, we're going to learn the chitas of the day. We're starting off in the book of Numbers. We are holding on chapter 10, verse number 1. Vahi ben Sayah on verse number 35. Vahi ben Sayah Vayema Moshe. So it was when the ark set out. Vayema Moshe, Moshe said, Kuma Hashem. Arise, O Lord, v'yafutza ivecha. May your enemies be scattered. V'yanusu misanecha mipanecha. And may those who hate you flee from you. So Rashi says, "Vayihi bin Saya Aaron asale simones lefanov." He made markers for it before it. You see, in the Chumash, in the Torah, in the Chumash, there's like a separation between these verses and the previous verses. There's like a separation between them. So Loi Mashain them to tell us that this is not its place. Why was it written over here? Because the Torah wants to separate between tzaddis in the parsha. Because as you'll see right in a moment, we go through to tzaddis. The Yidden start to make some complaining. Kuma Hashem, because the Eibishter, so to say, the ark and the clouds went in front of them 3 days before. So Moshe would say, don't go too far. Go in front of us, but don't go too far. Those enemies who are assembled for battle. And those who hate you will flee. Those who pursue us will flee. The one who hate you. Who are those who hate God? So Rashi says, Elu Soini Yisrael. These are those who hate Jews. Shakol HaSoines Yisrael. Because whoever hates a Jew, whoever hates a Jew hates God. As the verse says, Misanecha, your haters, Nasuresh. The haters of God, they uplifted their heads. And we name who are the haters of God? Al Amcha Yarimu Said, those who plot against the Jewish nation. Verse 36. When it came to rest, he said, Shuva Yisra, Shuva Hashem. Return God, Rivais Alpha Yisrael, amongst the myriads of the thousands of Jews. Menashe renders the word Shuva as an expression of rest, similarly to rest, Beshuva. Rivais Alpha Yisrael, Magid she'ein hashchina shreil b'Yisrael pchustim mishtei alofim mishtei revavis. This teaches us the divine presence does not rest on Israel if the number fewer than 22,000. Chapter 11, verse 1, number 1. Here, and then the people started to complain. Rabbi Ezna Hashem was wicked and he was evil in the ears of God. Vayishma Hashem, and God heard of a Yicharapa and he got angered. But Tivarabam Eish, and he sent in a fire. And it ate at the extremes of the machna, of the camp. What does that mean? The people, the word the people, is used in reference to the wicked. What shall I do with this nation? When it says in the Torah, usually it's wicked people. And when they are virtuous, they're called Ami, my nation. So over here it says there was a group of wicked people. Misaynanim denotes a pretext. They were seeking a pretext to turn away from God. They were looking for a complaint. People that look for always looking for action, always looking for something that's not good. So there was nothing. Everything is beautiful. But you have always those who they always look at things in a negative way. Hashem, evil in the ears of the Lord. Again, a pretext that it's evil in the ears of God, for they intended that it should reach the ears of God to provoke him. They were trying to push the buttons. They said, "Woe is to us! How weary we have become on this journey." They're traveling for a couple of days. Oy vey, for 3 days we have not rested from the fatigue of walking. Oy Rachmanis. Here the Eibishter wanted to bring them into the Eretz Yisrael. And here there was the group of people that were trying, saying, look, we're trying to find some complaints. Yichar Apai. And Nia Yisi, as Rashi says, I meant to bring them, I meant it for good reason. I wanted to bring them to the land of Israel. Therefore, I wanted to keep on going day and night. Let's get to the land of Israel. More we can travel to the land of Israel, less the Jews will be able to sin. At the edges of the camp, what does that mean? Those untouchables, because of their baseness, they were mixed multitude. Rashi said over here, according to some, it means the mixed multitude made the tzaddis. Rabbi Shimon ben Menashe says the most distinguished amongst them and prominent ones. So the question: who did it affect? Did it affect the Knackers or the basic people of the people? Verse number 2. And the people cried out to Moshe. Moshe prayed El Hashem to God. Tishka Eish, and the fire died down. So the people cried out to Moshe. This can be compared to a mortal king who became angry with his son, and the son went to the father's close friend and said to him, "Go speak to forgiveness on behalf of the father." So they went to Moshe Rabbeinu because they know, like any tzaddik, they know you go to a tzaddik because a tzaddik he's a very, very close friend of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So you know that he has the ear of God. Tishka Eish, it fell straight into the ground. It stopped in a second. Verse number 3, so they called that place Tebera. Because there was a burning fire amongst them. But that didn't finish it. Verse number 4. But the multitude among them began to have a strong craving. By Yeshuvu, and they then even the children of Israel once again began to cry. By Yomru, and they said, Mi Echleno Basa, who will feed us the meat? Where is the beef? Again, by Safsuf, actually says, the gathering, these were the mixed multitude. And when the Yidden went up from Mitzrayim, they took up with them a bunch of Egyptians. And these Egyptians made them tzadis throughout their journey. They were the ones who created the struggle. The children of Israel also wept with them. Who would feed us meat? Rashi says, did they not have meat? Does it not say also the great mixed multitude went up with them with flock and cattle? What's the matter? They had cattle. You might argue they'd already eaten them, but when they were about to enter the land, it's written the children of Reuben have too much cattle. So again, there was meat, there was cattle. Everybody's looking to make some action. Where we're going to have meat is meat. But everybody's complaining. You want to complain? We'll find a pretext to complain. What was the complaint? Verse number 5. We remember the fish that we ate in Egypt? Free of charge. As akshuyim, the cucumbers, as r'tchayim, the watermelons, as achotzir, the leeks, as abetzalim, the onions, as ashumim, and the garlic. So Rashi says, there's nothing free. We say the Egyptian gave them fish for free. Does it say straw shall not be given to them? Why would the Egyptian give them free fish? Now, if straw is not giving them free charge, why was fish given them free of charge? So what does free of charge mean? Free of mitzvahs. He said, listen, we used to be able to have everything when everything was given to us being paid. Now it's all dependent on mitzvahs. We have to do mitzvahs. It's whole mitzvahs that we were given to. That was their problem. So that meant free. Free meaning that there was paid money. There was no obligation to God. That's like Shuyim. Shimon says, why did the man change into everything except these kinds of tastes? So why couldn't the man? If the man tasted like everything, why couldn't the man taste like watermelon, like leek, like onions? So they didn't. They tasted like everything besides these because they were harmful to a nursing mother. We tell a nursing woman, do not eat garlic or onions for the baby's sake. Give him heartburn. This can be compared to a king who gives a son over to a teacher. He sat down and ordered him and said to him, see that he does not eat any harmful foods and does not drink any harmful drink. Because of this, the son complained about his father, saying, not because he loves me, but because he does not want me to eat. So the son, we were like children who always complained. We didn't realize that God did this for our own sake. He didn't want us to have any harmful foods. I mean, that the women that have children wouldn't have any harmful foods. So Rash says is Old French for cucumbers. Chaim is Old French for butkis. And the chotzir is leeks. Now our bodies are dried out. Ain't kol elaman. That's all we have is the man. Ain't. So we think about the man. From the morning till the evening, that's all we have is man. Man, what was the man? Zion, verse number 7. Kizera Gadu. The man was a coriander seed. The Einer Ke'ena B'delach, an appearance like the appearance of crystal. So the one who says this verse did not say that. The Israelites said we're nothing but the man to look at. With the Holy One, blessed be he says, what are you talking about? This man was like a coriander seed. And it says, see all the inhabitants of the world that the children are complaining about the man is excellent in so many ways. They complain about the man. Look, it's a beautiful, it's like a crystal. So that's just Gezerah got like a coriander seed, round like a coriander seed of Abdelach, the name of a precious stone, crystal. So they were complaining about this man. Verse number 8, Shatuam v'laktu v'tochnu b'rachayim v'dachu b'meducha u'bishlu paru v'asu ugais. The people walked out and gathered it. Then they grounded it in a mill and crushed it in a mortar, cooked it in a pot, and made it into cakes. And it tastes like a taste of oil cake. So now she says, Shotu. Here denotes nothing but taking a stroll. I mean, some of them, as you soon see, some of them just walked and took a stroll and picked it up. The man did not actually enter into the mill, the pot, or the mortar, but the taste changed to that of ground, crushed, or cooked food. Shad Hashem. So this is all the Shad Hashem and the moisture of oil. So that's just down. The Gemara brings down that if you were this is here, you see the difference with a tzaddik and a Beinah in Russia. A tzaddik, shortuam, it just was out. It was just there. Veloktu, this was right there. The Beinah was like you had to tochnu b'rachayim, you had to grind it. And the Russia Had to make ugas, had to do even more work to this coriander seed. Verse number 9. When the dew descended on the camp at night, the man would descend upon it. And then we know that the man went on. It was the towel. The dew was under it and on top of it. Verse number 10. Yishma Moshe Sam Beichel Mishpachta. Moshe heard the people weeping to their families. Ish lepesa beis, each man at the entrance of his tent. Yicharaf Hashem Moed, and God was very angry. And Moshe Ra, and Moshe considered it as evil. Rasha's and the families gathered in a group weeping, so as to publicize their grievousness. Say the meaning is concerning family matters. Because intermarriage among family members was forbidden to them. Weren't allowed to marry. They got the law of not marrying your aunt, and all these laws of the arayos, which Torah prohibited on a Jew to have relationship with certain kind of family members, which that was extremely painful to them for some reason. So Moshe turned to God and said, Lama reis lavadecha. Why have you treated your servant so badly? Why have I not found favor in your eyes that you placed the burden of this entire people on me? This was Moshe Rabbeinu went back to his original complaint when God asked him to take the Jews out of Mitzrayim. He said he didn't want the job. Yeah, Moshe Rabbeinu tells her, so why did you give me the job? I never asked for this job. And why have you forced upon me this job? Verse 12, did I conceive this entire people? Did I give birth to them? That you say to me, carry them in your bosom. Like a nurse carries the suckling child. To the land you promised their forefathers. That you say to me, that you have said to me, carry them in your bosom. When did he tell him this? Go and lead the people. That's in Exodus. And it says he commanded them concerning the children of Israel. Even if they stone you or insult you, you got to do it. Why do you do this to me? Why do you hate me so much? You tell me, carry them in your bosom. This phrase is connected to the clause, not to as a nurse who carries the suckling. Which immediately precedes this phrase. May I leave basa, verse 13, from where do I have meat? My butcher. For they are crying to me, to nu lanu basa, give us flesh. Verse 14, alone I cannot carry this entire people. He covered me many, it's too hard for me. Very harsh words. Verse 15, if you're telling me to do this, if you're treating me this way, like, please kill me. If I find pleasing in your eyes, so I will not see my misfortune. Rashi says, my strength became weak like a woman. And God showed him the punishment he is going to bring upon him. Because of this, he said, kill me first. Scripture says written their misfortune or your misfortune, but it changes it. The verse changes it. This is one of the scribal amendments of the Torah, such as writer makes for the purpose of modifying and adjusting the text. Alel bid asi in my misfortune. You should have said in their misfortune. Yea, Hashem, Moshe, the God said to Moshe, verse 16, as for these Shivim Isaac and Nizik Nesal, assemble for me 70 elders, men, from the elders of Israel. Ashedai came Zikni Amna, you know the people's elders and officers. Gather them there and let them stand there. So this was a response to your complaint that you said, alone I cannot. Where were the first group of elders? Had they not sat with them, Moshe and Aaron, even in Egypt? As it says, go and gather me the elders of Israel. But they died in the fire of Taberah. They deserved this. They deserved this already at Sinai. It's written they received God, behaving irreverently, like someone munching on his bed while speaking to a king. This is the meaning of they ate and they drank. However, God did not want to give cause for the mourning at the giving of the Torah, so he punished them there. So we had to gather another 70 great people because they were not there anymore. Those you know that they were appointed as officers over in Egypt. So God said to choose those that were the shaitnim, those that were the officers in Egypt that took the punishment for the Jews. They had mercy upon them. The shaitan, those that were the taskmasters in Egypt, would take the abuse from the Pharaoh and not bring the abuse on the Jews. So these 70 elders were those shaitan, those taskmasters who took the abuse of Pharaoh and didn't bring it on the Jewish people. Take them with words. How fortunate you are to have been appointed to be leaders of the children of God. So that the Israelites should see and treat them with esteem and honor, saying, how beloved are these who have entered with Moshe to hear the speech from the holy mouth of the Holy One, blessed be. Verse 17. I'll come down and speak with you there. I will increase the spirit that is upon you and bestow it upon them. And they will bear the burden of the people with you. And you won't have to bear it yourself. So Rashi says, these are one of the 10 times that is recorded in the Torah that God came down. And I'll speak to you below Imam, not with these 70 people, but only with you. Vitzalti, Taigum Remens ve'erbai. I will increase. I will increase your holiness and I will transfer to them. Vesanti Aleim. What did Moshe resemble at that time? A candle placed upon a candelabra. Everyone's light from it, yet the brightness is not diminished. That's the beauty of a candle. A candle can light many candles and never loses its own light. Nasi Itach, Rashi says, stipulate with them that they take upon themselves the burden of my children, who are troublesome, the sarvanim, and complainers, the rebels. And you wanted to carry the nation by yourself. This is the answer to what you said. Alone I cannot carry. I'm giving you 70 people to go. Verse 18. Tell the people, prepare yourself for tomorrow. You want meat? I'm going to give you meat. You cried in the eyes of God, in the ears of God. You cried and said, who can give us meat? It's better to us to go back to Egypt. But better for us when we were in Egypt. I will give you meat. And you will eat. So now she said, get yourself ready. You complained, you get what you prayed for. You prayed for meat, get ready, because you're gonna have so much meat that you're gonna see what's gonna happen. Verse 19. You're not gonna eat meat for one day, not for 2 days, not for 5 days, top 20. But even for a full month, until it comes out of your nose. It will become nauseated to you because you have despised the Lord who is amongst you. And you cried out before me, saying, Lama why did we ever have to leave Egypt? She says, this concern the virtuous ones this concerning those who complained, the virtuous ones who languished in their beds and later their souls departed. Concerning the wicked ones said the meat was still in their teeth when the anger of the Lord flared. This is how it's taught in the Sifri. But the Mechilta, the opposite is taught. The wicked ate and suffered as a result for 30 days. Concerning the virtuous when the meat was still in their teeth. Either way, whether they suffered for 30 days with stomach pangs or they died after they started eating. Until it comes out of your nose, and Tagra, you'll be sickened by it. It will seem as if you were gorged until it discharged by the way of the nose. You will cast it away from you more readily than you welcomed it. The words of Moshe Hadashan, the preacher. I noted there is a language in which a sword is called Zara, meaning that the meat will cause their death. The Lord is amongst you. Had I not established my presence amongst you, that you would not have the arrogance to reign in such kind of manners. So Moshe turned to God and said, there's 6,000 people on foot, are people in the midst I. There's 600,000 men over here. And how are we going to give them meat for a full month? He thought he was not concerned with the mention of the additional 3,000. Moshe Daishner explained that the only 600,000 who left Egypt wept. Verse 22, if the sheep and cattle were slaughtered all for them, would it suffice for them? If all the fish and seed were gathered for them, would it suffice for them? This is one of the 4 cases in which Rabbi Akiva expounded, Rashi says. Rabbi Shimon expounded differently. Rabbi Akiva says 600,000 people on foot. And you have said that I will give them meat and they will eat for a full month. The entire verse is expounded literally. The clause of matzalah means, would it suffice for them? This is similar to the cause. And he had sufficient means of matzah for redeeming it. In which case is worse? This one, or Moshe said, listen, now you rebels. Obviously, this one, however, since the case where Moshe did not say it in public, Moshe spares him and refrains from punishing him. But the question is, why didn't God get him angry at him, Moshe Rabbeinu, to question God if he has enough meat? But Meriba was in public, so over here was a private conversation between God and him. So therefore, God was not angry with Moshe Rabbeinu. But with the water later, God did get angry because he said, does God have water to, can I hit the rock and give you water? Shimon says, God forbid. This never entered the mind of a righteous man. The one whom he said, trusted throughout my house, exists, that God cannot provide us sufficiently. So what is the meaning of this scripture? Rather, this is what it meant: 600,000 on foot. You say, I will give them meat for a full month. Then you will kill such a great nation. Will sheep and cattle be slaughtered for them, so they should be killed, and this meal will satisfy them forever? Is it a credit for you? Do you tell a donkey, eat this measure of barley, and then we'll cut off your head? God answered him, if I do not give them, they will say that my power is limited. The fact that God's power appears limited to them please you? Let them and 100 like them perish, as long as my power is not limited before them for even a moment. Verse 23. So what God said to Moshe, my power is limited. You'll see if my word comes true. Rashi says that Gamliel, the son of Judah, the prince, says, Moshe said, it is impossible to settle their arguments. Since they speak only pretext, you can't satisfy them. And in the end, they'll find fault with you. If you give them beef, they'll say, we want meat. If you give them mutton, they'll say, we want beef. We ask for vision or fowl. We ask for fish or locusts. So they'll always find something. If we're always looking to complain, what are you going to give them to stop their complaint? So God replied, if so, they will claim that my power is limited. So Moshe said to him, I'll go and appease them. He said to him, now you'll see if my word comes true for you, that you will not listen to you. Moshe went to appease them. He said to them, is there a limit to God's power? Behold, he struck the rock and the water flowed. Surely he can provide bread. They said, this is an attempt to compromise. He has no power to fill our wishes. This is the meaning. Moshe went out to the people. Since they did not listen to him, he assembled 70 men. So Moshe went down. He spoke to the people the words of God. They did not listen. So he gathered the 70 elders, and they stood them around the tent. Verse number 25. And God came down in a cloud. He spoke to him. So the Spirit of God came from him, and it went unto the 70 elders. And when the Spirit came upon them, they started to prophesy, but they did not continue. So Rashi says, what means they did not continue? They prophesied on that day only. Thus it stayed in the Sefri, Targum Ren, they did not cease, meaning their prophetic powers, did remain. So the argument, if they did remain or they didn't remain, the prophetic powers. Yishush and Bachna, and 2 men remained in the camp. Shem Echad Eldad, one name was Eldad, Shem Hasheni Meidad. And the second one was Meidad. Tanach Leim Ruach, and the Spirit rested upon them. Vehim B'Ksuvim. They were among who's written. And did not go out of the tent. And they prophesied in the camp. So Rash says, now 2 men remain from those who were chosen. He said, we are unworthy of this greatness. Amongst the chosen of Sanhedrin, all that were written down, mentioned specifically by name, but the number was chosen by lot. So the number of elders, the 12 tribes came, 6 of each tribe, except the 2 tribes who received the 5 each. Moshe said, no tribe will listen to me to deduct 1 elder from its tribe. What did he do? He took 72 slips and wrote on 70 of them the word elder. And on 2 of them, he left blank. He then chose 6 men from each tribe, totally 72. He said to them, draw your slip from the urn. Each picked up one described elder, was already sanctified. Whoever picked up a blank slip, he said to him, that you are the 2 that God doesn't want you to be part of this group. Verse number 27. So the lad ran and told Moshe, Elder the murder, Mesnadim Amacha. Elder the murder are prophetizing in the camp. Who is the lad? Some people say this was Gershon, the son of Moshe. Ayan Yeshua ben Nun, so Yeshua ben Nun, Mishadas Mesa. Yeshua ben Nun, who was the right hand guy of Moshe Rabbeinu, turned to Moshe, Moshe Colin. He told him, imprison them. Rashi says, what means Colin? Imprison them, impose upon them communal responsibility, and they'll be finished. Give them, make him get involved in community activism, and you'll see what will happen to them. Another interpretation says, put them on the make them prison authorities. Why? They were prophesying that Moshe Rabbeinu will die, and Yeshua will take him into the land of Israel. So Moshe Rabbeinu turned to Yeshua and he told him, are you zealous for my sake? If only all the Lord's people will be prophets, the Lord will bestow his spirit upon them. Rashi says that's the humility of Moshe. Moshe Rabbeinu said, let everybody be prophets. I don't need to be the only prophet. Are you zealous for me? Are you being zealous for what I should be zealous for? The word bishvili, in my sake, the term kina, denotes the person who takes a matter to heart, whether to avenge or to help. So Moshe Rabbeinu said, don't worry, I have no jealousy, let them all be prophets, and it's fine with me. That ends the Chumash of the day, and now we go to the Tanya of the day. We're holding in the 6th chapter of Shara Yichud V'Emunah. The Rebbe is talking about the Skal of Samidis. We started off yesterday. That we say, for example, Isha Shalom Memreven, that God makes peace above. That when you have 2 midos, 2 of the main attributes of God, Chesed and Gevurah, which are total opposites. But the Yebishter, you have to bring in a higher power to bring unity in between them. But the Alter Rebbe continues, meaning Meskalos Hamidei Zu for the mutual inclusion of the attributes, the Skalos, the mixture of these attributes of Chesed and Gevurah, one and the other, it's evidence the Iyuv Agamer Chai, that he and his attributes, the causation, his attributes are one. Because the Overster brings unity into such great different powers, such great opposite powers, to be able to bring unity in their midst. For since they are completely united with him, that's why they become united with each other. And they comprise, they're mixed with one another. So the midos, the actions of God, even the midas chesed and the midas gevurah, which are polar opposites, since they are united with HaKadosh Baruch Hu, they become one, which is very hard for us to comprehend. Until you unite 2 polar opposites together, because that's very difficult for us to be able to bring unity in this one. As it's brought down in the statement of Elijah. This is the Maimon Yo, is we say out of Shabbos, Pasach Leyo. Pasach Leyo, we say this today, I have Shabbos in our Siddur before Mincha. We say, unto the Koshalon and Miyachadon. You are the one who binds them, the spirits of the attribute, who bind us together and unite them. And apart from you, less Yechudi Be'ilah. There's no unity amongst those attributes. So only God can bring the true unity between Chesed and Gevurah, between two polar opposites. So the Alter Rebbe will say later that since the divine name Elokim signifies the attribute of Tzimtzum and concealment, is one with the name Havaya, follows the concealment brought about by the name Elokim is not a true concealment. Again, the Alter Rebbe, this was a major argument between great sages of his time. Was Tzimtzum Pshutai? Do you say when the Arizal said there was a contraction and there was a concealment, was that a true concealment? The Rebbe keeps on emphasizing that no, it's impossible to say that it's a true concealment. Because the concealment comes from the Eibishter also. So it's not a true concealment. It's only concealment concerning the humanity, concerning the lower stage, but not in its essence, in the concealment from where it comes from. Because since it comes from God, and Chesed and Gevurah are both His attributes, then they are both one. So for the entity cannot conceal from itself. Since, again, he keeps on saying the statement that an entity cannot conceal itself from itself. So God cannot conceal himself from himself. And since God is, his attribute is God, Chesed and Gevurah both come from God, and he is both Chesed and Gevurah, so he can't conceal himself from himself. He only can conceal himself from others, but not from himself. Right? If you play hide and seek, and I hide from you. I can't hide from myself. Created beings are therefore absolutely nullified in relation to their source. So really, what also the Alter Rebbe wants to bring out, that if you understand this concept that a person cannot conceal himself, that God cannot conceal himself from himself, so this concealment is really only concerning creation, concerning me. God concealed himself. That means really, in truth, there's no concealment. And therefore the truth is, I'm really bottled to the Eibishter. I'm really talking nothing. The only reason why I feel like I'm something is only an illusion to me. Not anything to do with God. So to say, it's not anything to God. There's no hiddenness. I'm not hidden from him, and I cannot hide from God. Because that's a problem. If you understand Tzimtzum Kupshutai, if you take the Tzimtzum contraction and the concealment is like it says, Kupshutai, like it says simply, then in essence, then maybe God's not can't see me. Maybe I can hide from God since God is concealed. So basically, I can hide from God, and God doesn't care about me. And you can come to such a conclusion, Chas v'shalom. But the end of the person, I don't care about you. You care about this guy. I don't care about you. And Alter Rebbe was against that, and he said that's kefira. That is simply the opposite of godliness. You don't understand what God is if you come to such a kind of conclusion. But Chas v'shalom, Alter Rebbe used the word God forbid to come to such a kind of conclusion. Because in essence, we are the concealment is God, and God is God cannot conceal himself from himself, and therefore it's only concerning us that there's a concept of concealment, the concept of tzimtzum. This is what it says in the verse. This is what the verse says. Take it upon your heart. Hashem hu elikim. That Havaya Hashem Yudkei Vavkei, which is Chesed, which is above Hu Elikim, is the same thing. It's It's the exact same thing. Don't come to a conclusion that there's Hashem and Kim and they are not the same. Oh, you see, God has two names. So therefore, Hashem and Kim is not the same, and God is the way God is in Avaya. He's one entity. The way he's Elohim is another entity. Chas v'shalom. It's the same thing. So that's when in essence when God concealed himself and he gave us our own identity, he put himself, so to say, in a challenge. Because ultimately, by giving us this own identity, we can say something that God doesn't want to hear. We can say something that is the opposite of godliness. So concerning this verse, go to the explanation. Concerning this verse, the question was asked in the first chapter. Would it occur to you that there's a God soaking in the waters beneath the earth? So that it's necessary to caution so strongly the negative take upon your heart? According to this explanation given here, this question is answered. The statement that in the heavens above and the earth below there is no other is not intended to negate the existence of another God. God was not worried about that. Rather, the verse is telling us that there's nothing else besides God. He is alone, enjoys the true existence. Everything else is totally nullified in relationship to him. And this concept, the concept you're going to have another God in the heavens or another God underneath the oceans. No, that the Avis said that really everything is nullified to him. Everything. That is something you might have a problem with. This concept, to be understood well, one must indeed take it upon his heart. That is something that you need to learn. That is something you need to comprehend. That's not such a simple thing. To be able to understand that Yud gave up the Abishter, the way he's in the aspect of Avaya, which is above nature, his nature, and really ultimately everything is one with him. And therefore, in truth, everything is totally nullified to him. And without God saying, let there be this rock, it's not going to be there. That is something about Shevoisa El Avecha. You have to take it upon Hiru Sheshnei Hashem V'Seilu. That these two names of God, that they're really one. So if they're really one, I'm nothing. Bottle to the Abish. If they're really one, I'm bottle to God. Meaning, Shagam Shem Elakim HaMetzamtzum, that even the name Elakim, which is concealed and contracts the light, the divine force that is responsible for creation, it has the same quality of chesed like the name of Vaya. Why? Because the attributes of the Holy One, blessed be He, are one and united completely with Him in unity. And Him and His names are one. Because in attribute, why the name of God? Why do we have 7 names of God? Because there are 7 attributes of God. In Cain, so they're one with him in Cain, since this is so. Once you understand that Lakim is one with Havaya, Mela Teda, then consequently, naturally, you'll know in the heavens above and the earth below is Ein Oid. Ein Oid Lovade. There's nothing. Absolutely nothing. There exists nothing besides. This Hebrew phrase, there's nothing, means that even the material earth, which appears to everyone's eyes are actually existing, the Ayin of the Ephes is really nothing. In relation to God. To God, everything is nothing. Because the name Elohim obscures and contracts the light, and life was through only the Tachtonim, the nether creatures, but not to God. To God, everything is like above and below. Koydem atzimtzum, achar atzimtzum, Shem Avaya, Shem Elohim, Shem Shevis, all the seven names, they're all one entity, all ain't Oid Milvade. That's why Moshe Rabbeinu says that we should all know ain't Oid Milvade is nothing but God. And Alter Rebbe emphasizes this concept because, again, great sages, the Jewish people, made a mistake in that conclusion. Not just Goyish philosophers. Great sages came to a conclusion to the aspect of Tzimtzum Pshutai, that the Eibishter contracted himself. And basically, the world, can separate himself from humanity. And not concerning God, because God and his names are one. Therefore, even the earth and that which is below are all utter nothingness in relation to the Holy One Blessed. And they are called by, and they are not called by any name at all, not even by a name. Oid else, which indicates a tafel, they're really nothing. It's not like you're secondary. Ain't oid. They're not even oid. Oid is with. They're not even with. They're not even secondary. The world is not a secondary to God. God's a primary, and the world secondary. The world is nothing. Ain't oid. Nothing. In the Gemara, the word oid is Yehuda v'oid mikra. It's expression in the Gemara. Yehuda v'oid likra. That I have Yehuda v'oid likra. Does the verse require a secondary substitute custom of the land of Yehuda? Yehuda v'oid likra. That means that do I have the custom of Judah and also a verse? V'oid likra. Do I need a Yehuda v'oid likra? I have a verse. Once I have the verse, why do I need anything else? But there's an expression in Gemara, Yehuda v'oid likra. That I can have Yehuda, which is a custom of the land of Israel, and I have a verse. So v'oid is a secondary. So too, the case of the body, which is subservient to the soul. So the body and the soul can be the same thing. The body is secondary to the soul. The body and the soul have two different life forces, and the body is secondary to the soul. Oh, the soul is more important than the body, or we make the body more important to the soul. But not the body is nothing to the soul. The body has its own identity, and the body is also important. No, the body is secondary to the soul. Maybe the world is not secondary to him. The world is nothing. This is the meaning words. I will praise Havaya in my life with my soul, and I will see Melakim with my body. We thus see the body is termed oid so much that it's subservient to the soul. The reason the term Melakim is used in connection with the body. Body song is this. For the life of the soul, which is right from the name Havaya. And the oid, secondary, which is the body, is subservient from the name Elohim. We don't see that the body is nullified in relation to the soul to the extent of oid, to the subservient to it. It is not, however, nullified out of existence in relation to the soul. It's not nullified. For the soul does not bring the body into existence for nothing. It only provides a life. So the soul and the body have two different life forces. And the body has its own existence in a way. The body is therefore called oid, a secondary to so much that the soul provides the body with life. It gives it koyach, it gives it life. But the body is there. But not, you cannot compare the body and the soul to God and the world, even though sometimes we give this kind of analogy, but it's not a true analogy. The Eibishter God creates everything for nothing to something. And therefore, Hakol Bottom Mitzias, that's like everything is absolutely nothing. As the light of the sun is in the sun. And that's why Chassidus always gives the analogy of the light of the sun is in the sun. More than the soul, the body that is bottled to the soul. Because the body is only secondary to the soul, and the Oid Hashem is the ray of the sun. When it comes in the sun, is totally nothing. And its whole existence is because of the sun. So too, the world's existence is because of God. And even the energy that comes into the world is nothing to God who gave it its existence. And that is the end of the Tanya of the day. My friends, today is the 17th day of the month. And the Tillim of the day is chapter 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 83 to 87. And if you do the Tillim of the day, you have done the Chitas of the day. I wish you all a beautiful Shabbos, a wonderful Shabbos, a very happy Shabbos. And we'll see each other, with Shem, on Sunday morning again at 8 a.m. We'll continue the Parsha of the week.
Thank you so much, Rabbi. Thank you.
Shabbos.
Thank you, Rabbi. Good Shabbos to you and the Rebbitzin.
God bless.